from wherever. How is everyone doing? This is my third EXCon. I joined a company in 2018, the very first one. I don't think I joined because I probably didn't figure out the world back then, but I was definitely here last year. And being here again, this is so exciting. Hi, Christy. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Gloria. Hi, everyone. My name is Gogo Bethke. My real name is Yankovic. Everybody in the company knows me as Gogo, or everybody that knows me, I guess, knows me as Gogo. My real name is impossible to pronounce. I've been an agent since 2011. I've been an agent here at EXP since 2018. The best business decision I have ever made in my career. I am so excited to be here. Who's excited to be here? Unmute yourself. Oh.
I am.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Yes. I know, isn't this awesome? Best thing that ever happened to us, guys. Even in the middle of 2020 and this whole thing that's going on in the world, I feel like we still had an amazing year, and that's thanks to everything that EXP offers us, all of the different ways how we can get paid. But just to back it up a little bit, I got licensed in 2011, as you can hear it from my accent. I am originally not from Michigan. I do conduct business and live in Michigan right now. Will be a snowbird in 3 weeks. I cannot wait. Originally, when I got started, I had no sphere of influence, barely spoke English, no education, no sales experience, no money, no marketing skills. Like literally the things I didn't have, the list was very long. So that's how social media came about for me, because I really had no other tool than I could use or I could afford at the time. So that's how it started for me. And now doing that for 10 years, through the years, it made me the social media queen, is how many of you know me. And so today we are going to talk about social media with Shannon. She's my partner in crime today. And Shannon, do you want to introduce yourself and then we open it up for questions?
Sure. Hey, y'all. I am Shannon Milligan out of Richmond, Virginia. I joined EXP back in December of 2016. So been about 4 years, and it's been a major blessing, which I'm sure many of you are finding out as well. My story is similar to Gogo's in the sense that when we moved to the Richmond area, I didn't know anybody. I knew one person, and they sure as heck weren't going to hire me. And I thought I could go full-time real estate while I had kids in part-time daycare. And I mean, preschool 2 or 3 hours, 3 times a week. And I found out that's not how this works, at least not for me. But instead of doing nothing, that was in 2011, I started blogging. Anything that I learned as a new agent, because I got licensed in 2010, I just started writing for myself to learn, but also I just thought, well, if I'm interested in this, the public probably is. So I started blogging. In 2012, I sold 3 houses. Woohoo! 2013, I sold 30. And so I went from 3 to 30, and it was all through social media, through blogging. You'll find here that Go is much more involved in Instagram. The girl has like over 50,000 followers on Insta. So, you know, we got to give it up for that, because that's a lot of hard work. Not so much my domain. I kind of focus mostly on Facebook, and a lot of you probably know me from my storyboarded videos. That's kind of where I focus. So I think we're going to have you covered today with some questions. And with that, Gogo, do you want to kick it off?
Sure, I am ready. I actually found out, I think you did too, Shannon, and we are talking, you're talking today in about an hour. So that's how that started. So I am open for any questions. This is supposed to be organic, supposed to come from the heart. So any questions you have, the very first one in here, somebody asking where I am originally from. So I'm Hungarian by nationality, but I was born and raised in Transylvania, Romania. So I speak both languages. Romanian is my second language, so native is Hungarian. If you ask me where I'm from in a bar, I'm going to tell you I'm Hungarian. But technically, I'm a Romanian citizen, Hungarian national. And so I'm excited to see you all here. And especially now that we are going international, it's so exciting for all of us. I pretty much have a cousin in every country. So I cannot wait for, opening Europe one by one. So Shannon, are you ready for questions?
Yes, let's do it. So somebody asked here how you got started on Instagram. Why don't you take that, since that is, I mean, seriously, your Instagram's amazing. How did you get started on that, and how did you build up to 50,000 plus followers?
Sure. So I actually started it on Facebook just like you did. So when I got licensed in 11, I pretty much right away started a Facebook business page, which at the time was almost unheard of. And I did that for about 5 years. And I got to the point where I always joke about this, but I say I share the good, bad, and the ugly, everything that happens in real estate. And I felt like on Facebook, I couldn't do it for a couple of reasons. A, because Facebook is a little more prim and proper than Instagram is. And B is because most of my clients were following me on Facebook. So I don't know why my mind at the time thought if I take the party over to Instagram, my my clients won't find me, and I get to what's the right word? BITCH there. And just kind of vent. I think that's the more prim and proper word for it. So I figured I can take my pity party over to Instagram and just kind of vent about the good, bad, and the ugly of what's going down really on a day-to-day in a real estate transaction. And that's how Instagram started. Same name, same brand. So I am Gogo's Real Estate Everywhere. And then because people could relate, agents could relate of everything that I shared. My Instagram took off way faster than my Facebook ever did. On Facebook,
So you mentioned about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I was checking out your Instagram, and I hope this is okay to bring up, but I think authenticity on social is what makes certain people stand out. Now, somebody lost a tooth, and that was shared. Can you tell the story?
So, well, I don't think like I am just all that in a bag of chips, as they say, but I did lose my front tooth. And as much as I shared the good, bad, and the ugly, I was not about to share being the social media queen and not having a front tooth. So, guys, about 8 months ago, I bit into a sandwich, a most delicious bacon and tomato sandwich my husband made, and I heard a very crunchy sound, and I was like, "Oh, it's the bacon! It's the bacon!"
Oh,
No, it wasn't.
oh my God.
It was my front tooth. I left it in the sandwich. So for 6 months, I didn't have a front tooth, guys. And I did have a pity party for about, a day. Feeling sorry for myself. Like, how am I going to continue doing business on social media without a front tooth? And then I realized, you know what? It's life. It just happened. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't magically have a tooth appear. I actually had to go through surgery and bone graft and all that stuff. So I physically could not have a front tooth in my mouth for 8 months. My bone had to heal. So I figured, well, we're going to rock it. And whatever God gives you, tooth or no tooth, you are going to rock this social media thing. So I did.
I have to tell you, so I've never had the pleasure of meeting you in person yet. We're going to change that as soon as this COVID is over. But when I went to your Instagram, it's a little intimidating because I'm like, wow, look at all of her followers. Look at this. Look at how she does that. But the minute I saw that, I instantly liked you. And I think that's a really big lesson for everyone out here because you did show the human part of it. And it's something we can all relate to, something sharing with our physical appearance. And it endears you to potential clients, to other agents. And so I brought up that story because I really, in that moment when I saw that, I'm like, I like this girl because she's sharing the shit, right? She's sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. And I just thought that was really great. Now I see a question here in the chat and this is probably better for you, but do you have a personal Instagram business or do you just run one?
So just look at it this way. When I am talking business, I take my business seriously. Is how we pay the bills. So it's always 100%, 1,000,000% a business page. You need to see the algorithm, you need to see the numbers in the back. I always call your business page as your storefront. So you want to see, okay, how much traffic do I generate to that store? How many of those people log in? What time of the day? Are they men or are they women? Where are they located? How old are they? Because why are we doing this? Because eventually you're going to sell them something, not necessarily the next house. You're going to sell them what? Yourself. But in order to spend the least amount of money, which everything I do is organic marketing. But if I were to run ads, I would know exactly who to run them to because I have the back door to my store. And that's why you have to have a business page.
Good advice. And now somebody else asked, how do you post? They heard the 80-20 rule. I will say for myself, that's pretty much what I follow. I also follow Gary Vee a lot. And this is what drives me nuts on Facebook. And raise your hands if you ever get So you get a friend request and you're like, yes, you accept it, right? You're like, cool, this person looks cool. And immediately you get a private message that says, hey girl, I was just thinking that you might be interested in my, shake that I'm selling. How many show of hands have ever had that happen? And all I think about myself is, see, look at all those hands going up. I feel like I am an ATM to that person. And so I subscribe to the Gary Vee notion of jab, drab, right hook. Build the relationship, build the relationship, build the relationship. And you will instinctively know if you are an authentic person that comes from contribution, when it's okay to have the ask. Would you agree with that, Go?
Oh, absolutely. One of my biggest pet peeves is when they ask me for something, they ask me to help them promote something, or they ask me to help them support a cause, or they ask me to help them promote an event that they are fundraising for or something, but they don't follow me. Okay, so let me get this straight. You want me to help you make money, but you don't help me make money. That's the same thing. They just followed you for 2 seconds and suddenly asking you to buy something. You didn't take the time of the day to get to know me. You don't even know what I do for a living. You don't even know if I'm, might not even be drinking shakes. So definitely community and having a relationship with those people is very, very important. Don't go for the just as you said, the hook is at the very end. It's not the first step of the process. They're not going to buy from you if all you do is, hey, I'm a realtor. Do you want to buy a house from me?
I agree. It doesn't come off as genuine at all. Somebody had mentioned videos. I think I'm going to say your name wrong. Was it Dorothea? It went so quick I couldn't catch it. Thank you. The grease video was pretty fun to do. You asked how I think you asked how I got ideas, and I know Gogo does video. I will tell you, for me, a lot of it is watching old movies with my kids. And I've done everything from the Karate Kid, because I was watching with my kids, where I have a homeowner getting their house ready for market, and we do wax on, wax off with the floors, and we do the painting up and down to get their house ready, and all that stuff. And all those ideas typically come from either pop culture or what I love is introducing things to my kids, such as Karate Kid, and Grease and that sort of thing. And then it just kind of comes to me, and sometimes songs. I know you do video, Gogo. Now, what kind of video do you do? Mine's always like the storyboard kind. Is yours like more authentic educational videos? What is it that you do?
So let me ask you, what is your Facebook, Shannon? So let's have everybody visit that too, because I'm not exactly sure what you mean when you say storyboard videos.
So mine's, my Facebook is RVA, as in Richmond, Virginia. So RVA Home Team. Now, full disclosure, COVID. I am trying to be the very responsible person with COVID. So I have not done any videos really since COVID started. So the last one or two you will see, you'll probably find the Grease video. And basically, Gogo, what I do is we change the words to you're the one that I want, to it's the home that I want. Da, 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 da. And we go through and we do listing videos that way. And we've done branding videos. I am working on a really cool branding video right now from an old song, because here's what I find. Nostalgia is something that everybody is craving right now, because everybody is, a little stuck at home or a little restricted in what they're doing. And I think people are just craving some nostalgia. So the next thing I'm working on is from an 80s song, and it's going to be a branding video. But by storyboard, I mean, we do listing videos based on, little ideas. It started out simply from me standing in front of 3 houses going, this house is too big, this house is too small, this house is just right. And then from there, I was like, how can I improve it? And then we've gone on to do Mission Impossible, Stranger Things. My favorite I've ever done is the Big video, where we have a little kid start in a playground, and then he wakes up in the house as an adult. And that was our video tour of the house, is him basically doing Big, the movie. So that's what I mean by that. But there's all sorts of videos. So what other type of?
Yeah, somebody's asking in the group, have you ever had any copyright issues with using those songs and things like that in videos?
That's a great question. And I'm going to say 2 things. 1, I'm not a lawyer, so take this with a grain of salt. But 2, my understanding is parody is fair use. you would need to run that by your attorney because I am not one, but we changed the words. And my understanding is that parody is fair use. I've never had an issue, but we are changing words and doing it more like Weird Al Yankovic style.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Can you tell us what that is?
Weird Al Yankovic?
Yep.
Oh,
different words.
Yeah, Weird Al was known for taking Michael Jackson songs like I'm Bad into, I forget what he did, but he changed the words and they were all parody, making fun of the song. You'll definitely have to Google Weird Al Yankovic. I might be a lot older than you, Gogo. I think that might be part of my issue.
Probably the foreigner. No, it's probably the foreigner thing because I'm almost 40, but it's just I didn't grow up on US television. So some of the shows, like if you're talking about something I haven't seen, then I just don't understand what that is, if that makes sense.
Thank goodness. Now I don't feel so old. I'm 44. I say things about Urkel sometimes and people are like, what are you talking about? Because I forget my audience. But what other kind of video are you doing? Because I know you implement, I saw on your Instagram that you do tons of videos.
Yeah, I think it's the list of the things that I don't do. It might be much shorter than the list of the things that I do. I do about anywhere, guys, from 10 to 14 stories a day. Most of them are video. I do anywhere from 1 to 2 posts a day, and lately, at least, they are videos. So today, for example, I posted one about our Vivint home security system, which, by the way, guys, I'm all about us realtors being able to live life on our terms and be able to have multiple revenues of income. So one of them, the Vivint video that we posted today, they are our home security system. That's how we've been protecting our home for the last year and a half. But it also just saved our child's life. So I created a video. I had a videographer come to the house. We shot a video about the story of how they saved my child's life, who's type 1 diabetic, and any diabetics in the group. So you know you have a buddy. And so that one is pretty much helping other agents, not just myself, but Vivint then reached back out to me and said, hey guys, I know this is what you do for a living. Now you know you sell homes. Every home needs a home security system. So every agent that refers a client to us will make $200. And actually, let me post, would you guys like the link? You can download the app and get yourself literally every time you refer a client to Vivint, which is just like EDT or any other home security system. In my opinion, and of course I'm biased, this is what I use. I love technology. They are the best when it comes to technology. And so I'm going to copy a link and paste it in the comments for you guys. And if you're interested, you can work it into, let me see if it worked. Let me know if it worked. That should probably only work on your cell phones though. I am sorry, it is an Amigo link. It's an app that you're going to have to download in order to work. You download the app, you plug in your clients every time they close. You close on a transaction. Usually what we do, we hit them in 2 different ways. During the transaction, I mentioned to the clients, if somehow home protection or home security comes up, I will mention to them, hey, Vivint is what I use. Would you be interested? All I need to do is your name, phone number, plug it into my app, and they will call you within 2 minutes. So then they will call them within 2 minutes. If the client decides to get Vivint, you as the agent, you will make $200 for referring them. So I talk mostly, my audience, so I look at yours, Shannon, mostly to me, it seems like your audience is the end user, being the potential buyer and seller. It's not like I don't talk to them, I do, but I mostly talk to my audience is mostly agents. But with that, when I'm talking to other agents as well, it automatically makes me the expert locally because I'm helping other agents grow. So that way they look at it, oh, she knows what she's talking about. Does that make sense?
It does, and I love that because.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love that because you know your audience and you just get both of them because you're giving good information to the agent, right?
Yes, exactly. So I mostly have the agent. Just through the years, it became that because I love real estate. I love what we get to do, and it's a very cutthroat industry. And I became very good at what I do. And the point is, you know, that quote that says, the more people, you can have everything in life you want, the more people you can help get what they want. So I live my life by that quote. And because of that, it just grows. The more you can give to people, the more they're going to follow you.
That's awesome. I saw a question, and y'all, you can keep putting your questions in. They just go by sometimes fast, so I'm trying to catch some. But 3 things that you would tell a new agent to get hyper local. What do you think? What would you have to say to somebody to have some local
Yeah, so one of my favorite things to say is that we are not selling real estate. And get that into your head. You are not selling real estate. You are selling yourself and your services. You want people to choose you as the realtor because they have 40,000 other realtors to choose from in the state of Michigan. So in order to get that brand out there and become that brand, you have to be very okay with number 2, shameless self-promotion. Nobody's going to know of your existence. Don't be that secret agent, because nobody's going to know of your existence if you don't promote yourself. Those are the first.
That's very true.
Those are the first 3 things, and most important if you want to run business as on social media as your own brand. How about you, Shannon?
I agree. I sometimes have a hard time with the self-promotion. And I know I got to get over it. It's a self-confidence thing sometimes that I have, because I can feel on Facebook when people have had enough of me, or maybe I'm just sick of myself. I'm not really sure which it is, but I know you have to get over it, because the truth is the squeaky wheel will get the oil, and you got to squeak, you guys. You have to get out there and squeak. And I think so, some of you were wondering, some examples to get hyper local. Well, you could do a little show. You can go around highlighting businesses. That's twofold, because it's highlighting you while you're highlighting a business. So the consumer end user is going to get it, but also that business owner is going to love you for it. So that's one way that you can get hyper local on it, is to do a little show. I did one called Destination RVA, and we went around to local businesses and we just highlighted them, and it was awesome. So if somebody was moving here to the area, we could share that with them. I want to just pivot a second, because I saw another question, Gogo, that I think you would be excellent at answering, is how do you convert? So if you get the end user on your site, how are you converting them from, say, a friend to a client?
Oh my God, it can be so different and so simple at the same time. Usually what happens is, and we are talking hyper local, but I don't like that conversation. You have to open your mind up to the next level of, hold on a minute. Yep, maybe I'm only holding license in Michigan, but could I refer to North Dakota? Yes, I can. Could somebody from North Dakota reach out to me and be like, oh my gosh, Gogo, you just got married. I've been following you for 7 years. My husband and I so wish that you could be our realtor. We're buying our first home. Do you have any tips for me? And I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations. That is a huge step. And I also wish I could be your realtor, and I can't, but I can definitely hold your hand through the process. I can be your advisor. If that's okay with you, shoot over your phone number, your email address, both of your email addresses actually. And I have a partner in that area who is just as big of a rock star as I am. And he or she, by that time I know who I'm talking about, would love to take care of you. And then they literally gonna serve me their name and email address and phone number. And then I'm going to fill out a referral form. And then anybody in North Dakota in this room, raise your hand. I have a lead for you. And I'm going to feed it to you at a 25% referral fee. So I'm not saying don't focus on local. Absolutely. There's one from North Dakota right there. The lead is yours. I'm not saying don't focus on local. Absolutely. But by doing your job and being in the habit of having the cell phone in your back pocket and videotaping every freaking move that you take. For example, I don't go to a coffee shop and I don't meet someone without literally taking a selfie with them or taking a quick little video and tagging them. Why do I tag them? Because I want their friends, because we are doing what? Self-promotion again. So I want their friends' eyeballs to see who I am and what I did today and who I met with today. Then their friend's going to see it. Now she's going to share it, because when I tag her, she's going to share it automatically, put it on her wall. Her friends are going to see it too. So she's going to get the promotion from my wall. I'm going to get the promotion from her wall. So let's say we are in Starbucks in Brighton, Michigan. Guess who else I'm going to tag? Anybody wants to guess? In the comments below. Or raise your hand and tell me. Absolutely, Shannon, Milligan, you're the first one to tell me. Then I'm going to tag Starbucks. Good job. Now, which Starbucks? Am I going to tag location? Am I going to tag Brighton, Michigan as a location? Absolutely. Why? Because they might not follow me, and they might not follow my friend, and they might not follow the hashtag realtor. They may not know of my existence, but they might follow Brighton because they're curious what is going on in Brighton this week. So they follow Brighton as a location. So now I hit them by tagging my friend in case they follow my friend. I hit them by tagging Starbucks because everybody follows Starbucks. I hit them by tagging location. So seriously, they can't miss my post because I hit them from every direction. And that's how you grow. So if you want to be so said hyper local, sure, do it. Make sure you tag the location, where you at, who you're with every single time, because who you're with is also probably from that location, which their friends are from that location. So you are going to grow your audience organically that way. But I am encouraging you to think bigger. Don't think location. Guys, we are in how many countries now? We can refer and keep the money in the company. When we keep the money in the company, refer to one another, our stock values go up. When our stock values goes up, our value goes up. One day we have something to retire on. We are no longer a local business. We are an international brokerage. Imagine that.
So someone said about posting like and having basically creepers know where you are. I mean, you can make that post when you're leaving. If it's a place you frequent though, Gogo, have you ever had anybody really come and follow you because to an actual place because of where?
No. And of course, be very careful. If you feel like you don't want people to know where you're at the moment, just as Shannon said, tag the location later. Don't post it at the time you're there. Post it after you left.
You know what's funny about that is back in 2012 when I was doing all those blogs, I actually had a stalker, and I had him for at least 2 years. And we called the FBI. They couldn't do anything. We called local government first. They couldn't do anything. And basically, local government told me to take down my videos on YouTube. And I did at the time. And I realized that was like 7-Eleven closing down. This guy, truth is, he wasn't anywhere near here. He was probably some foreigner, like in Afghanistan or something, because that's what the voice sounded like. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying he wasn't here. And I had an overreaction to this guy just calling. And funny enough, he called about a year ago after, so many years of not calling. And I hung up, and he hasn't bothered me since. The way I look at it is I can live.
Wrong. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, fear of faith is going to say it.
Don't get me wrong. You're not going to find my cell phone number anywhere out there. I collect data. For that, I have a smartphone number. So the smartphone number is fed. Guess to who? Guess if you call my smartphone number to tell me that you are Kevin in your underwear, because that did happen before. Guess where it rings? On my husband's phone.
That is so smart to have a separate phone. I need to do that.
So I don't use, guys, my cell phone number is nowhere out there on any marketing material. It's not on the yard signs. It's not on the business cards. It's not in my email signature. You're not going to find it. And that is A, because of the creepers. B, because eventually you get to the point where there's 50,000 of them. If they just send me one text message a day, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. And number 3 is because I want your information. I want to know everything about you. So I use the KV Core smartphone number. And I also have LionDesk as a backup CRM program. And that also has a smartphone number. So whoever ever dials those 2 phone numbers, I know everything about you within 24 hours. Whatever that phone number is linked to, your Google profile, your Facebook account, your LinkedIn account, I know everything about you. So then I'm going to message Kevin back with a screenshot of his account the next day and ask him if he would like to have that plastered all over social media. And then he'll never
so smart. That is so smart. I actually have a question for you. Before I ask it, guys, let me just say one thing on Facebook. When you get thousands of requests for friend requests, one thing I would say is on your profile, as Gogo said, don't be a secret agent. Please put on your profile you're a realtor and what area you are. You can put other things on there too, but that's something that drives me crazy because I get these requests and I go to see who you are and I have no idea what it says. My bio says wife, mom, Richmond realtor. You only get out of life what you have the courage to ask for, and then my phone number. Yeah, I do put my phone number there, but now that Gogo has this brilliant idea, I'm going to go get a different phone number. But that was a tip I wanted to make sure I said while we were on here. But I have a question for Gogo, which is on your Instagram. I quit doing Instagram posts because I had a friend tell me it didn't look pretty. It didn't look curated. It wasn't all like a certain color aesthetic. Is that important? Or what would you say to somebody that is afraid to do Instagram because it doesn't look like that?
Yeah, so it's definitely, you have to take your job seriously. So somebody asks, how often do I post or something like that? How do I have time for that? How do I have time for that? It's my job. Do you have time for your job? Do you make time for what makes you money? Absolutely. So when I decided to do social media, guys, it's my job. That's what I make time for because that's what pays their bills. So now to answer your question, it is important. It's your storefront. If you don't put time and effort, and if you don't edit your photos, and if you don't edit your videos, and if they don't have the right filters, and you don't write a really nice capture, and it's not personalized, if you don't share you, I don't have a reason to follow you. I have 2.4 other million realtors between Canada and the US to follow. So your goal is to make sure that your storefront is, imagine this, imagine you're walking down on Realtor Boulevard, okay? And you're a buyer, a seller, I could care less. And you need to decide today who you're going to work with. If it looks like I didn't edit my photos, and my cat is in it eating its breakfast, or my children are in it running around in diapers, and the background of my house is a total freaking mess, are you going to take me seriously, or are you going to go over to the other storefront that looks like they're actually taking this business seriously? It's a store, it's organized, it's designed, there's somebody there that can take your order, there are links that you can click, it goes to your person, it's going to ring, somebody's going to answer that call. So you have to design that storefront. You have to put some time and effort into it. If not, there's 2.4 million realtors they can choose from. So answer this question, when you're looking at your storefront and you're looking at somebody else's, which one would you choose? Choose the one, design yours the way that you would buy, because those are your people. You're going to find your people, things that you like, they're more than likely going to like as well. So then you want to just emulate that, you copy the next person who's doing it. I'm not coming up with everything myself, guys. I wish I could. But I am really good at freaking copying a good idea. So that's all you need to do. Your name, as Shannon said, what is your name? I don't want you to be the hometown realtor on one page and Katie Smith on the other and Main Street 123forsale.com. Because that's not a brand. One of you know my name is because it's Gogo's Real Estate everywhere. Everywhere.
I love that. It's somehow I lucked into putting RVA Home Team on all my socials. I wasn't smart when I did it. I just did it because lack of creativity, but it turns out it's because it was for branding, right? Like, and it's smart to keep it the same all over. By the way, somebody asked for another good resource for getting information on Instagram. A friend of mine is Chelsea Pites on Instagram, and she gives out free information on Instagram. So she would be a good person to follow. I'll put her name down. And then somebody else asked, how are you changing your personal to get it to business? I think what Gogo and I are both saying is we're being real people. We're showing up for people. I know for myself, a lot of people ask me how I get hundreds of comments on Facebook. And I have one simple rule, and this is why I get so many comments. I don't leave a comment behind. If you took time to comment on my Facebook, I'm going to comment back to you, because if we were sitting here in person having a conversation and I just sat here and said, dead silence, right? You would look at me like I was crazy. It's the same on Facebook and Instagram. For me personally, I don't leave one comment behind. I always make a comment back, and that encourages conversation. And then eventually, when those people are ready, I posted something last week and I replied to a girl. She sent me a private message and she said, hey, just want you to know, when it's time for me to have a realtor, or when somebody I know, I'm inclined to send them to you because you're just so nice to people on there. Like, they notice. And that's what I would say is a huge differentiator.